What up, YouTube? It's the Ways, and I'm Tia.
And I'm Jada.
And today we're back with another video. Let's go. Today I'm excited. I'm really excited. Let me show you what we're going to play with today, which you've probably already seen. If you know anything about this packaging, you know it's a Melt Cosmetics, and we are gonna play in their new palette that they just dropped called Electrip eyeshadow palette. I guess it's a series, a part of their series for their 420 collection, and I'm so excited. I finally got my little hands on it, and we're gonna play in it. So if you want to see what looks I create, I'm gonna do 2 looks for you guys. If you want to see what looks I create with this palette, then definitely please keep watching. But first, during the intro, go ahead and
don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that post notification so you get notified every time Tia posts a new video.
Okay, enough said. Let go. Yes, I'm excited. Okay, I had to turn down, make my lighting a little different. So if it looks different, that is why. I have some natural light coming in. I have some lights. I have a lot going on. So hopefully it looks pretty good. But we're not here about that. We're here about the Melt Cosmetics Electrip Palette. This is the outside packaging. And it looks like you're going on a trip. I don't want to say what kind of trip, but it looked like we going on a trip. I'm not even sure if it's a 420 type of trip, okay? Anyways, I think it's really, really cool. It reminds me of the 70s type of vibe. I really like the effects on the packaging itself, but the actual packaging of the palette is pretty cool too. Let me show you what these colors look like, and then we will roll the swatches, and then when we get into this look, because I'm ready. So this is the color story. We have some warmer tones, we have some neutrals, we get into a little cool tones, and then they drop this color on us. Like, yes, I have to put that on my eye. But it's a very cool vibes. It's not all greens, which is kind of nice. It's a trippy palette. It's going from one end of the spectrum to the next end of the spectrum. I'm not sure if that was the cause of that. The lettering too, when you get up close and personal, it looks a little trippy as well, like distorted, which is kind of dope. It's their normal tin pan palettes and their normal style of doing their palettes, and I am here for this. I'm excited. I had to get it. It was on sale on launch day, and let me just say one thing before we roll these swatches. Melt shipping on point. I buy tons of stuff from Melt. On freaking point. I couldn't believe it. I bought this, when did this palette drop? The 4th? I got this palette yesterday, which would have been the 8th. So that is fast, and I didn't even do express shipping. Like that was awesome. So let me roll the swatches and we'll get into this first look. Here are the swatches of the Electrip Palette by Melt Cosmetics. In natural sunlight. Look at that red though. Look at the shimmers. Definitely beautiful. Love. About to get hot out here. We're gonna get some sun all the time. You guys have already seen the swatches. I was trying to figure out what I want to do in regards to what I'm wearing, because today is actually Easter. And I wanted to match. I'm going over my mom's, but you guys don't even see my shirt really, so it doesn't matter, but I'm still gonna make it look good. So I'm pretty sure they were cool. I really wanted to swatch this color Magic Hash or Magic Mush, but I'm gonna wait. I might use that in my other look because it is kind of a warm tone as well. Kind of a greeny vibe. It's really the only green color in this palette. Anyways, I brought you a little closer. Let's get into this look, but first let me tell you what I got on my eyes and on my face already. So I went in with my Glow Recipe Watermelon Niacinamide Dewdrops for my primer, okay? Then I went ahead and did my eyebrows with my Precisely my brow pencil, and this is in number 5. Then I went ahead and cleaned up my brows with my NARS Soft Matte concealer, and this is in Caramel. I went in with my Pink Pot and Contemplative State for my eyeshadow base, and then I put in a little bit of the Legendary Brows gel by Charlotte Tilbury. So that's where we're at. I didn't want to do my whole face yet. So because the foundation I'm going to use is kind of a matte, and I didn't want to look dried out, like everything taken out before I did everything else. Also, I want to play in, this is a new brand on the market. It's by Angelica Nikfis. I hope I said her last name right. I be trying, but you guys should know I feature a lot of her collabs and stuff, but now she has her own brand. And the first thing she launched from Sinja Beauty are these eyeshadow brushes. You get 5 eyeshadow brushes, and I want to play with them. The unique thing about these brushes that I can tell so far is that they're very small. So they're good for people with smaller eyelids, like myself, and hooded lids. So I think, I mean, really probably for anybody, but I like the fact that they're smaller brushes. Even the biggest blending brush is like perfect for my eye shape. So I'm excited to play with these brushes. I'm excited to play with this palette. Let's go. So I'm gonna take this EO1, which is kind of tapered, and it's kind of angled type of brush. Very, very small. And I'm gonna go into Reefer, which is this cool tone brown here. You see it? I'm gonna use that. It's kind of deep, and we're gonna kind of create like a halo eye. So I'm gonna take this on the inside of my eye, very close to my eye, not blending it out too much. I don't want it to get crazy. This shadow has a little pickup in the pan, but not too much. I noticed with the Melt shadows, the darker shades don't have as much pickup as like your lighter shades. And there's not very many light mattes in here except for like this one. Okay, so we're gonna drop this color here. I like this tone of brown. I think Melt does pretty good with browns. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. They really do good with browns. So I have the Rust palette that has a lot of browns in it. The Gemini palette has some browns, I believe. I did get 2 new Melt palettes that I haven't used yet. So very excited about that because the Mary Jane palette has a lot of browns too. But I like this concept that we're going to take it out here on the outer edge too, using the same brush and kind of just patting where we want it in the angle of our eye shape. Remember, it's your eye shape. It's how you want it. Yours isn't going to look exactly like mine. I see my crevice of my crease here. So I'm just packing it here on the edge and kind of packing it out. I kind of want it to fluff out, but that's because of my eye shape. Your eye shape might be a little different, but you kind of want to mesh your halo eye the way you think it would be best. I'm kind of just going to pat this up. I like that I'm not getting like really harsh lines with this shadow, and I could just press that out and it looks really, really good. But I like the concept that it's not just like Reefer. Reefer is the color we're using. When it comes to a trip, you could go through a mind trip on so many different types of things, like just like life, right? I'm taking this fluffy one, which is the EO3, and just kind of blending out the edges here a little bit with nothing on it. I like this brush. I like these brushes by Sinja Beauty. Coming through. I mean, I paid as much for the palette as I paid for the brushes, so I'm excited to see that I like them. I think I'm going to take another color. I think I'm going to take a little bit of Bang, which is this peachy type of shade. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just to blend out these edges. You can see it there. Yeah. That's perfect. It's not too warm because I am doing a cool look. I mean, it's warm, but it's just light, so that's good. It's okay to bring in some warmth with a cool look. Like, that's okay. The contrast. Do whatever you want. It's only one way to do your makeup, and that's your way. Okay, then we're going to take this color Blue Haven, which is this really, really light shimmer. I'm going to see how it looks on my finger because I have not swatched these. Oh, that's beautiful. It's like a sea blue. Oh, has a little bit of a purple situation. We're going to drop this in our eye right here. I can't. That's pretty. I'm going to pull it over a little bit. Keep it on the lid more or less. Wow, I love that color. That's so pretty. I'm just patting it with my finger. There's no water or anything. So that one came out very, very good. I hope you can see the like shimmer in here, but then the metallic-y reflective type. Oh, pretty. I love it. That's so pretty. That was easy. That was easy. I like that shimmer, Melt. That was an impactful shimmer. Like, did they switch up their shimmer formula? Come through. I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna take my blending brush and kind of blend that through. The shimmer can go wherever it wants. It can live its best life. Yes, it can live its best life. It can go up into this crease. That is so pretty. Okay, then I'm gonna take this flatter type brush, and this is an EO4, and I want to go into the color Galactic Love, which is this other blue. It's a little deeper. I want to see how that performs with the brush. It is shimmery, I can tell. Okay, and I'm just gonna drop that between the two, the brown and the Blue Haven, just to kind of merge everything together. Wow, that's gorgeous. That's so pretty. Oh, I'm in love. Okay, take a little bit more Blue Haven just right here to pop the eye. We didn't even wet these. Now, if you wet these are gonna give a whole different vibe. I promise you, I can feel it in my bones. I might wet the next look shimmers. So good. Okay, go back into EO1 with Reefer and just reinforce that right here and out here. Yes. Take a little bit of the EO4, which had the blue on it. I'm not going to add any, the darker blue, and just pat and blend. Patting is sometimes more effective than like swiping. You know, like this vibe. Patting can sometimes give you the better effect, for real. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. I do. Let me throw in a little concealer and we'll do the bottom lash line together, and then I'll wrap up my look. Ooh, I feel like a mermaid. Okay, I threw in a little concealer. I went in with my Makeup Forever Ultra HD concealer, and this is in 34. This is one of my favorite. I just set it with a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury powder. I will have everything listed below that I did use in this video. I did change the lighting and close the sunlight, my window, because I felt like it was just throwing it off, and I really want you to see the beauty of this. I feel like either you film in full sunlight or don't, and mixing the two is really messing me up, but the way my window is positioned, it's hard to film in straight sunlight. Anyways, that's not why you're here. So what I want to do is underneath is I want to go in with another color. Normally in a halo eye you can match what you did on the top, but I really want to do something different. Hope you're still close. Are you close enough? Okay, there we are. So I'm going to take the color Far Out, which is this mauve brown type of shade. Yes, this one is calling to me, but I think I'm going to do it in our second look. But Far Out, man, I might have to do 3 looks. So we're going to go into this. This is a Morphe M124 brush. Go ahead and spray this color because we did put some concealer underneath our eye and stuff. And I'm just going to, I do have some fallout from the shimmer. I'm not even going to front. I don't know if you can see it, but I can definitely see it on my face from the lighter blue shimmer. So I probably should have sprayed it, but that's okay. I love this color. It's like an antique type of shade. I think I'm also going to take Blue Haven, which was the blue. I'm going to use the same brush. Throw that as our inner corner highlight. Oh, wow. Look. Look what it did. I'm going to throw that on here. I think you have to, yeah, you definitely want to spray these shimmers. They're just coming more impactful that way. I love it. This is where we're at. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the other eye, finish my face, and show you the final look. Yeah. Yes! So this is the first final look using the Electrip Palette by Melt Cosmetics. Is so fun. I love this vibe. We end up using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shades out of this 10-pan palette. So I can't wait to play with the rest of them, which I'm going to try to incorporate all the other shadows in the next look. But let me tell you how I wrapped up this look. So, you know, I went in with my Makeup Forever HD concealer. For foundation, I went in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place foundation, and this is in Rich Caramel, which is 5W2. I love this foundation. I just set in certain parts with my Charlotte Tilbury powder. I didn't set all over my face, as this is a very matte foundation. For my eyes, I went in with my MAC Stack mascara, and then I also pulled out this Melt Slick Waterline eye pencil. Actually, I bought it not too long ago. I've never used it, and this is an ivory, and I put this underneath my waterline. I wanted to try it. I want to brighten up the look. It's supposed to be waterproof. It's very creamy. It went on very, very easily. Let's see how long it stays in there, as I will be wearing this a long time. Maybe I'll put a pinned comment to let you know how this worked out, because I've been eyeing it for a while. There's some really cool neutral colors in this line for the eyeliner, so I wanted to try that. For bronzer, I went into the iconic London bronzer, and this is in the Ultimate Bronzing Powder in Deep Bronze. I just used that as my bronzer. For my blush, I went into the Danessa Myricks. I didn't pull this out in a minute, so I pulled this out, the Danessa Myricks Dewy Cheek and Lip Palette. Yes, and I went in with these two shades. I mixed these two shades, and that is what is on my cheeks. I set it a little bit down with the bronzer just to set it a little bit, but not too much. What else? For my highlight, I went in with the Snackaroons highlighter, Sugarcoat Everything by Beauty Bakery. I thought that this was the perfect one with this blue, silvery, icy type of vibe, and look how that highlighter is popping. But it could also be this right here. This is by Iconic London. This is the Pret Set Glow. This is what I use as my setting spray. I love how my skin looks. I love how glowy and dewy it looks. Yes, and I think that this is it. I have high hopes. This is the original. There are two different colors. This is the original. And then last but not least, for my lips, I went in with a new lip Cloud Lab Lip Clay by Kaleidos, and this one is in Echo Valley. And it's really like a nude on me. I'm feeling it. It's perfect for like these cool tones. I don't want too much. I don't want it to be too pink. I don't want it to be too out there. This is a perfect, because it's just so nude and it feels so good. So that's how we wrapped up this look. If you are feeling the vibes of this look, definitely drop me a blue heart in the comments. Do they have a blue heart? I hope they have a blue heart. If they don't, you can drop me a brown heart. We can go with the brown heart. But anyways, let's get into look number 2. All right, y'all, let's get into the second look using the Melt Cosmetics Electrip Palette. Last time we kind of stuck over here in the blues and the cool tones, the icy type shades, went into a little brown. This time I think I want to stick over on this side in the warm tones and play in those a little bit. So I'm excited. Okay, so the first color I want to put on is this color Strawberry Fields, which is this red. It looked like a true red. I'm going to take this E38 by Sigma. It's a diffuser crease brush. I'm just going to go into that. Look at how red that is. Like, I was really excited about this color in particular, and that's one of the reasons why I picked up this palette once I seen them swatch this color, because it was just so red. It says Strawberry Fields. Strawberries are red, so I'm hoping it's not too pink. Doesn't go too orange, because that's usually what happens when you get these red shades. Look how pigmented though. Should have probably done the other eye with the light coming in, but it's okay. So I'm just going to pat this color right into the crease. I kind of want to go a little higher, but I'm going to diffuse it out, so I don't really need to do that right now. So just really kind of keeping it concentrated in my crease area, because I'm going to cut the crease. So it doesn't have to be perfect. In regards to the lid, that's why I just want to kind of stamp it on there. And then I'll kind of diffuse it out a little bit with the brush in here, just kind of wiggling it. But I really want this color to be saturated. And this is a kind of a soft brush, but it is compact, so it's perfect for this. I'm going to take this brush from Singe Beauty. This is the EO2 brush. I didn't use this in my last video or my last look, so I want to use this, and it's kind of a little bit more fluffy. It's a little stiff though, so I think it will be nice to get it where you want. I'm going to take the same color, Strawberry Fields, and I'm just going to set it on the edge. I'm just going to pat. This is going to diffuse the edges and then kind of blend a little bit. So diffuse the color with the same color type of situation. Yeah. Okay. I just shut the blind because I think it was just throwing off what's going on. So you couldn't really see. So hopefully that's a better. I'm building a beauty room in what we call a green room, or I call it a green room. And it's going to be where I film and stuff. Kind of like my woman cave. And I'm thinking we're going to get a lot more natural light in there, so that'll be exciting to do more looks in natural light. Unless I'm filming at night, of course. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking like. I kind of want this to come out, but I like that. Like, I like this red a lot. I think this is my favorite red I have in my collection because it's just red. Like, it looks red to me. It doesn't look like it's too pink or it's too orange or it has too much blue. It might be more on the blue leaning red, but it's not pulling too much. Just saturating this because when I cut my crease, I don't want to lose the red. I'm going to go ahead and cut the crease off camera. I'm going to use my e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. This is the matte one. I really like the tone of this for cutting the crease, and I like how it dries really fast. So I'm just going to cut. I'm going to do a full cut crease, and I'll be back to show you, and we'll finish, and we'll add more to this look because it's going to be a little in depth. I mean, I got some stuff going on I want to try with this look, so feeling a little creative. Okay, we have our crease cut. So this is what we're looking like. I did a full cut crease. I just softened the inside so it wasn't too harsh because I didn't want that vibe. But this is what we're looking like. I'm feeling it. This is a great concealer for cutting the crease. I don't know. I've discovered that drugstore concealers are kind of the best for that, in my opinion. I was feeling a little dark and I'm going out today, so I did put a little bit of the Becca Smashbox color corrector on, and this one is a medium dark. I went ahead and put on some of my concealer that I was using, which was the Makeup Forever concealer, just so we can do underneath our eyes, and I set it with a little bit of my Charlotte Tilbury powder, which I did tell you I used, I believe, in the first look. So I just wanted to do that so we can get underneath the eyes. So I'm just going to make sure that this is dry. I like it because it dries fast, but sometimes you put a lot of concealer. I'm just patting this out. I kind of made it at an angle here. I don't know if you could tell the difference in the two color tones of the concealer, but that was the kind of vibe I was going for. Okay, let's hop back into the palette. So I'm going to pick up this E54 by Sigma. This is a flat, like, shader brush. What do they call it? A medium sweeper. That's what they call it. But it's really flat, and I can pack on color. We're going to go into the color Bang, which hopefully you can tell it's the matte peach. It's the color I used in the first look as well, just to blend out, I believe. So we're going to use this, and we're going to pat. I do have a little bit more kick up in the pan with this color than the red. Like I said, I feel like Melt's darks don't have kick up in the pan. Darker mattes, but their lighter mattes I feel do. And this one definitely does. Compared to the red, for sure. I barely see anything with the red. I'm just going to pat, but the color payoff is good. Like, I still like them. I'm just going to pat this all over the lid where I cut the crease. Really focusing on the bottom more or less, and then working my way up to the top. It doesn't have to be too perfect, as we're going to do a little graphic liner. But just kind of like follow the crease. I like these two tones, and I wanted to use them together, even though I use this tone in the other color. I mean, in the other look. There's not a lot of mattes in here, so They really did. Yeah, mostly a shimmer heavy palette, which is kind of weird because Melt does a lot of mattes. But I think that's okay because then we could bring in some other palettes and blend, you know, mesh up these palettes together. So that could be fun. I really enjoy the Sigma brush for this effect. Look at that though. That's kind of cool. I really like it. It's kind of electric trippy, right? Like electric trip. Yes. Okay. Then what I want to do is, I don't have to get too close because like I said, I'm going to do a little liner. So that will help with the line there. You could do more of a flat type of brush for really getting into that line if you weren't going to do anything else. Just to make it all blend very nicely. But I'm not too worried. I want that to come up like an angle. I want it to be like, whew. All right, so then I'm going to take an angled brush. I'm going to go back into Strawberry Fields. This would be one I would use for like my eyebrows. We're going to use it like a liner. Right on the bottom here. Ooh. I love this color. This would be a dope mascara color. If they could get it this bright of a red. I don't know if anybody's done that, but that would be so dope. I don't need to come all the way in. I kind of want it to match what I did with my cut crease up top. I do want to make this a little bit more thicker on the edge here. Ooh, I really like that. Okay. Next, I want to take like this, like a detailed brush, a really small detail brush. This is by Morphe. This is a 250-1. I want to go into the Melt gel liner that I have, and this is an Estrella. It's a gold, and we're going to put this on like a graphic liner. So I'm just going to dip into here, get enough on my brush. I'm going to be very, very quiet during this time, maybe fast forward, but just to show you what I'm going to do. Got to kind of get close. I might need a mirror. I think I'm a Melt type girl. Something like that. These gel liners are so nice, so easy to use. I just want to pick up more colors now that I played with this one. Look at this gold. So pretty. I love it. Okay, so we're going to stop it there. I don't need to come all the way in, but that's kind of the effect I'm going for. I might perfect it a little bit off camera, but this is the vibe. And I'm loving that. I don't know, I feel like Superwoman or something with this look, but I really like it. Okay, so underneath the eyes, yes. So we do have some shimmers. I wanted to go into this color Saturn, but it's not doing much. It's more like a topper shade. And it's very, very shimmery, which would have been really, really pretty on the lid. But it has more of silver reflex, and I'm kind of going for a gold vibe. Okay, hopefully we're in the same place. My camera kind of cut off on me. But yeah, I was saying that this color Saturn is not doing much for my life. And it's very, very dry, and all I get is shimmer. So, I don't know, a topper shade, it might be nice. But I don't want a topper shade. I want to use a Head Trip, which is this one, this orange, of course. And I want to put it on my lower lash line. Okay, I'm going to take this brush by Playing in Makeup by Yolanda. It's kind of like a pencil brush, but a little soft, like a little bit more fluffy. So I'm going to go into Head Trip. This is so pretty. I'm going to put this underneath my eye, and I'm going to go ahead and spray it. I'm just going to use my e.l.f. spray here. And we're going to drop this underneath the eye as a shimmer. Wow, look at that. This eye is very fiery. I am feeling this for sure. Okay, then I want to take one more color. We'll use, so pretty much we use every color in this palette but two, but we're going to use Magic Mush, which is this greenish gold, and I'm hoping it will look good on the inner corner. Also to kind of just play with more colors. That's kind of what we're going for, but I really like this vibe of this eye. So I think I'm gonna throw that in there and see what to do. I think I'm just gonna clean off the brush I just used on my color switch. This color switch is fantastic. Going to Magic Mush. It's picking up pretty well. I'm gonna drop that right here. Oh yeah. That like goes with the gold in the eye. It brightens up completely. Yes, 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 yes. I like that. I like that a lot. Very good. So this is what we're looking like. Let me go ahead and even out my other eye, put on my face, and I will bring you the final look of the second look for the Electric Trip, and then we'll get into my thoughts of this palette. Yes, so this is the final look using the Electric Trip palette by Melt. I'm obsessed, y'all. Let me get I am obsessed with this look and how it came out. I feel very glowy. I feel very graphic-y, okay? But also kind of neutral at the same time. Like, I'm really feeling this vibe. Let me tell you how I wrapped up this look, and then I'll give you my thoughts on this palette as my first impressions. So to wrap up the look, I used a lot of the same products that I used in the last look, just a couple different variations. So for my highlighter, I went in with my ColourPop Super Shock Shadow and Parasol. I just thought that this was a perfect combination with the eyes, and I really think that this is a fantastic highlighter. It's like putty if you've never tried these, and I just blended it with my finger. So pretty. For my cheeks, I went in with the same cheek palette by Danessa Myricks. I also think I used the same exact two shades, which are these two shades right here. Blended them together and put them on as my blush. I like it because it's neutral, but I know there's some color to it, and it's a little bit of bronzy with this brown tone in there as well. I also used these two colors on my lips and just blended them together. And this is the vibe I got, and I put a little bit of the Parasol on top. So combine those. Very hydrating. I could throw a gloss on it, but I just thought that this was kind of fitting. And normally I don't like pinks on my lips, but I'm feeling this little lip combination with these two colors mixed together. So yes. Anyways, let's get into the vibe of this palette. So for one, when I first looked at this, I was like, I don't like that. But then when I looked closer, it actually says Electric Trip. You gotta like look, it's kind of trippy. And so it just brings a different vibe. And so I'm feeling the packaging. I'm kind of a hippie type of person, and I like it. The color story, I think it's cool. I think you have some cool tones, you have your warm tones. You can keep it very neutral with a lot of these shades, or you can give it color. You can do kind of what I did in my two looks. You can make it more neutral, more colorful. So I really like the vibe of the palette. I like that we got more shimmers this time. I love this color Far Out. I love, which is that antique-y type shade. Obviously, I love Strawberry Fields, and I love Magic Mush. I loved a lot of the Blue Haven. They're all really, really good. I really, really like them. The only ones that I was not feeling, I only didn't use two of the colors in this palette, and that's Pursudo and Saturn. And this is a beautiful color. It has a lot of pigment. I did swatch it. I just didn't get a chance to incorporate it in the vibe. I felt like this color was a little off from this bluish purple type shade. I think it would be very cool with Blue Haven or the brown. So I plan on using it, and I think it's a very pretty color, and I'm glad that they did drop it in there. I like the vibe. I think Saturn we could have done without. I would have liked something else that was a little bit more punchy. I get like a shimmery shade, like a topper shade, and that's cool and everything, but it has silver flecks in it, and this side is warm tone. So I guess I could blend it with over here. So it's a trippy palette because like the way that the color story set up and the different things that you can do. I mean, I think that's the only dud for me is Saturn. But all in all, I'm so happy that I bought this palette. A lot of people are comparing it to, what was it? the Day of the Dead one that they had the half colorful and the blueprint palette. I don't have neither one of those, so I don't feel any type of way that I got duped because I don't have those palettes in my collection. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I really liked it. I got it 30% off. I'm glad Melt did that. I think that that was really cool for them to do a launch and give us 30% off the bat. I do wish that I would have got that orange though, that orange lippy. I might go back and get it. Plus, I am really feeling these gel liners by Melt. This is not part of the collection, but they have different colors, and I think I'm going to pick up a couple more of those. They're actually having a 30% off right now. Always check Melt. Get on their mailing list if you're interested in the brand because they're always doing some really good bomb sales. So all in all, I really like the palette. I'm happy that I purchased it. I love the looks that I created. I can't wait to play with it some more. Let me know if you're feeling this vibe of this look. Go ahead and drop me a red heart in the comment. Did you pick up the palette? Are you like iffy on the palette? What are you thinking? I'm curious to know how you guys feel about this launch from Melt. Anyways, thank you guys so much for spending your time with me. Just remember there's only one way to do your makeup, and that's your way. Yes, that's your way. So we will see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not part of the Fam Gang Gang. Hit that notification bell so you can be updated every time I load a new video, and we will see you later. Have a blessed day. Peace.